Everybody wants to win, but sometimes you just you have to risk too much in order to get there. Whether it's that lane, whether it's going over on the fuel limit, whether it's going on the RPM or whatever. So it's going to be a good, hard-fought battle.
2, 1, mark. 5 minutes to the start of our Heat 1A, our H1 Unlimited hydroplanes, the fastest race boats in the world, can now come out on the race course. The first boat away from the pit area is the U91, the Goodman Real Estate. So that was the 5-minute mark, and it is time to go racing. Let's run down the boats that will be in our Heat 1A. The U1, it is predominantly blue and white. It is the Miss Homestreet. It is driven by Dylan Runney. He is a rookie, but he is a good one. He's going to be joined by the bright red Beacon Electric U8, driven by J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael Kelly's teammate, Corey Peabody, drives the U9. It's predominantly white. It is the Beacon Plumbing. And rounding out our 4-boat field in our Heat 1A is the white trimmed in black and gold Goodman Real Estate. It's U91. It is driven by Andrew Tate. Our boats can cut the race course. I'm expecting we're going to see some of that happen here very quickly. But before we get to that, as J. Michael Kelly is going to cut across the race course, the start of our Heat 1A is just a few minutes away, and Seafair reminds you that for your own safety and the safety of those around you, everyone must be out of the water when the hydros are on the Ted Jones race course. So it is time to get out of the water and enjoy the fastest race boats in the world. John Walters, I made a comment that I expected a couple of the boats to cut the race course. They all did.
Yeah, the race started the minute they pushed the button to leave the dock there, and you can see they're all running fairly close together. The start is huge here. These are only 3-lap preliminary races, so if somebody gets a jump on you, it's tough, as fast as all these boats are, to make up that difference and make up that distance. Now, you're going to see guys that want to have the inside lane. They're going to try to drag guys up there early so that they can maybe get them to jump the gun or make a mistake. You have to maintain a minimum speed of 80 miles per hour. That's kind of a judgment call now, and as Dylan cuts across the infield here to try and pick up that inside lane as everybody else is coming down the front straightaway here. So it's going to be a battle from the very beginning. Just like we said, this is a heavyweight championship, but it's going to be 4 different fighters.
Yeah, this is going to be good. So we're coming up on 2 minutes and 40 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Again, for those of you that have never seen this before, we're not racing yet. That doesn't mean we're not in the middle of a competition right now. Watch J. Michael Kelly. Is he going to make a move? I thought maybe he might jump across to the backstretch, but no, that would have been a legal maneuver, but he did not. He went all the way down to the bottom of the race course as we approach 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2:20 until the start. Remember, our boats do not have assigned lanes. They are jockeying for position. So wherever somebody is on the course right now, that may be where they want to be. It may not be where they want to be. As John was talking earlier, you've got to have a plan B, C, and sometimes D when you get out on the race course. We will begin our 3-lap preliminary Heat 1A in 1 minute and 50 seconds. John, they're all up at the top end of the race course. Dylan Runney's going to come off first.
Yeah, the way this race course is set up, at the 1-minute gun, you want to be between, about the apex of turn 1 here and the exit pin. It's a short run down that back straightaway, especially as fast as these guys go. So you're going to see everybody try to get down there, and like you mentioned, you're either at where the spot you want to be on the race course or where you would think you want the competition to think you want to be there. So a lot of this is just head games, and a lot of it's playing the game.
And another piece to this puzzle that we talked about earlier, but not yet during this heat, the boats cannot drop below 80 miles per hour. So that really affects how you fight for these positions. You can't just go park in a lane at the top end of the race course. You have to maintain at least 80 miles an hour. That will be determined by the officials when we finish the heat and the boats come back to the pit area and they look at the data recorder. So now inside 1 minute, they were pretty much where you were talking about, John, and right now it looks as though Dylan Runney in the U1, the Miss Homestreet, is going to sit in lane number 1 up the backstretch. That's going to be his teammate Andrew Tate sitting in 2, lane 3. It looks like Corey Peabody, but we're going to watch where J. Michael Kelly might slot. He's coming up behind the boats, and we are inside 35 seconds. John, they're at the top end. We're going to be racing here inside 25 seconds.
Yeah, they're all in pretty good shape. Dylan may be a little bit early, and you saw J. Michael Kelly last week, get up there too early, and he had to make a decision. Do I jump the gun or do I get disqualified? If you jump the gun, at least you get to continue to race. It's about 7 seconds off the exit pin, and here they come.
Inside 10 seconds now. They come down to the start. It is Runny in 1. It is Tate in 2. It's Peabody in 3. On the outside, J. Michael Kelly. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. Mark, it looks to be legal from here. We'll call them as they are on the water. And John Walters said that Dylan Runny didn't bring a lot of boat speed down as he was early. He's going to trail the field into turn 1. Our leader on the outside is J. Michael Kelly, but he's already been passed to the left of him on the inside. That is going to be Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, and inside of him it is Andrew Tate. It is Tate. It is Peabody up the backstretch. Halfway through, Peabody on the outside. He's up by about 3 boat lengths, but now, John, it's that inside lane position that Andrew's got at the top end.
Yeah, Corey's really in the best position here because he can control, how wide and how early, they get into the turn there. So he's going to try to hold and maintain that radius around there as they start down the straightaway towards the start-finish line to the end of lap 1.
A boat that's showing me an awful lot of speed right now is J. Michael Kelly because he's staying in the mix here, and he's running the biggest race course on the far outside. Our 4th place boat across the line is Dylan Runny in the Homestreet now. Down to the lower end of the race course, it is still Corey Peabody. He's running in lane number 2. He's holding Andrew Tate to a nice tight line on the inside. He's driving him legal, John. He's giving him enough room, but he's not giving him any more.
Yeah, he's not giving him any extra, and he knows exactly where he's at. He's got spotters that are telling him he can see the race course himself very well, and he knows as long as he can pinch, Andrew in that first turn there, that he's going to have to come off the throttle to maintain his boat speed so he doesn't slide out into that rooster tail. So he's actually controlling the first turn, even though he's not in the first lane.
I've been making the comment all weekend long that nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle, and once again he's out almost by a rooster tail. J. Michael Kelly on the far outside has got his sight set on Andrew Tate, but that's going to be a tall order as the boats go down to the bottom end of the race course for the 3rd and final time. Our leader off the exit pin, Corey Peabody, got almost a full rooster tail now on Andrew Tate on the inside. Tate, our top qualifier. Our Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody was our 3rd fastest qualifier, but John Walters, they've got a good race setup, and he's walking away from our top qualifier up the backstretch.
They've got an excellent race set up. The water was good. Corey did a really good job, and like I mentioned earlier, lane 2 is the place you want to be here. This is a big, wide race course with big turns, and boy, you get on any farther outside than that, and it's a long, long ways around these turns, but Corey was in a position to control that first turn and really put him in a position to win.
Checkered flag flies. Corey Peabody in the U9. Beacon Plumbing, 2nd place, is going to go to our top qualifier, Andrew Tate, U91 Goodman Real Estate. Then it's J. Michael Kelly in 3rd, driving the 8. That is the Beacon Electric. And the man who was a little bit early at the start, and you saw how it can cost him, Dylan Runny in the U1, the Miss Homestreet. You talked about it, John. You said maybe Dylan was early. He was. He came off the corner. The other guys were behind him, got to put the foot down. They brought the momentum to the line. And unfortunately, as you said prior to the heat, you can't let these guys get the jump on you because they're just too quick. You'll never catch them in 3 laps.
Exactly. And in the old days, you used to be able to sneak up there a little bit early, and you could back off the throttle. You could, use up some extra time going wide in the turns or whatever. But if you drop below 80 miles an hour, you're going to get penalized now. So you put yourself in a real tough position. You want to get up there and put yourself in a good spot to be able to get the lane that you want without having to forfeit the boat speed. And Corey did just a great job, kept the boat in good, clean water. J. Michael did a great job keeping the boat in good, clean water. Unfortunately, that effort that Dylan put on to try and get the inside lane cost him boat position. So that was a real tough thing for him to have to deal with. And short 2-mile race course here, as fast as these boats are, the chances of driving around these guys on the outside are not good.
I've made this comment 3 or 4 times during the season. I've probably made it 3 or 4 times here this weekend. Once again, John, nobody has solved the Corey Peabody puzzle yet. That boat is quick. Corey's doing a terrific job driving it, and he just sent a message to those guys in gold and white that I was on the outside and I was able to hold you off.
Yep, absolutely. And and you know he's kind of a moving target here right now. He wasn't necessarily the fastest boat in qualifying, but in race conditions, you know, when the driver is a much bigger factor in that and putting the boat in a position to win, whether it's an inside lane or an outside lane, timing the start, those sort of things. The Campbell brothers have got the boat set up to where it's handling the rough water here extremely well. He's going to be tough to beat, and you know, the bad news for all the other competitors, I expect that team to get better as the day goes on.
And that would be bad news for the rest of them because he looked awfully good, awfully good. Our boats are back to the pit area, and once again, I want to give a shout out or at least speak directly to our brand new race